GETTYThe current situation in Yemen is at risk of spiraling out of control without aid. The new British aid will supply food, process grain into vital wheat flour and fund fuel to deliver help, power hospital generators and maintain clean water for major cities. Speaking in Djibouti, from where supplies are shipped to Yemen, Mordaunt said, "Every day, parents are carrying their malnourished children to hospital because they haven't eaten in days, and families are watching as loved ones die needlessly from treatable illnesses because they do not have access to medical care." UK aid will save lives with new food and fuel that will produce food, pump clean water to help stop the spread of cholera and power hospital generators. Our brave British, international and Yemeni aid workers are working relentlessly to alleviate suffering in these atrocious circumstances. But humanitarian aid alone is not enough, and millions of people will starve to death without commercial imports that the country depends on. Getty Yemeni people are at risk of a serious crisis if the famine is allowed to continue. Parents are carrying their malnourished children to hospital because they haven't eaten in days. Penny Mordaunt. The UK is the third biggest single donor in the crisis, and the new cash takes Britain's total contribution in £201,718 to £205 million. The latest injection of British aid will provide food and food vouchers for 3.4 million vulnerable Yemenis for a month. It will also fund enough wheat flour to feed 6.5 million people for 2 months. The International Development Secretary urged Saudi Arabia to restore full access to Yemen for aid and commercial supplies. Saudi forces have led military attacks in its poor neighbor since 2015 against Houthi rebels trying to oust what the world regards as the legitimate government. The Saudi coalition has received logistical and intelligence support from the UK, US and France, and is accused of killing and wounding thousands of civilians. A Saudi blockade, ostensibly to stop Iran smuggling weapons to the Houthis, has hampered food, medical and fuel supplies. The British initiative follows last week's call by the UN for £1.9 billion of international aid next year to tackle what it now assesses as the worst humanitarian crisis in the world. An estimated 22.2 million Yemenis need humanitarian protection assistance, 76% of the population. Some 11.3 million need immediate life-saving assistance, while 17.8 million are malnourished or face food shortages, including 400,000 children.